What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Life of Lee podcast. Before we get into this episode, I am incredibly happy to announce that I am now an ambassador for fabactivewear.com. This is a great company that produces incredible workout clothes, and not only that, they are an incredibly environmentally conscious company. This company produces no plastic packaging whatsoever, and the packaging that they do use is 100% recyclable. So go check them out, get some great clothing, and if you use my discount code LifeOfLee10 with 3 E's in the Lee, should be on screen now if I remember to do it, you'll get a nice discount on already very reasonably priced clothing. So yeah, go check them out, and let's get into the episode. Roll credits. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Life of Lee podcast. If this is your first time, welcome to the Life of Lee podcast. That hoodie I was wearing there from the grey crossover hoodie, available from fabactivewear.com. It's an incredibly cozy hoodie, but it's just too warm, so I had to take it off. I am now wearing the black Urban Muscle hoodie from fabactivewear.com, so go check them out. Use my code LifeOfLee10, 3 E's in the Lee, you'll get the discount. And that's what this episode's really about. Like, I'm now an ambassador for a fitness brand, right? Now, although I've trained parkour and freerunning for 17 years, and I'm fit, I can achieve physical feats, I am definitely not healthy, and I know that, and it's something that I've known for a very long time, but it's something that I've just kind of ignored, really. Like, my diet is shocking. My consistency and commitment to just working out and conditioning is shocking. But it's it's arrogance in a way. Like, I'll be completely honest and say it's arrogance, because I've somehow maintained a natural athletic body shape since I was like 11 years old, by basically doing nothing to achieve it or maintain it. I was just built like this, just genetics, whatever. So I always kind of felt like I don't need to try harder, you know what I mean? Like, look at my baseline. Like, people would kill for this as a baseline. I've already got this, so I don't need to do anything else. I can just be lazy, really. But I'm getting older, ladies and gentlemen. I am now 33, and like, I started smoking when I was 13. So I've now been smoking for 20 years. And 20 years doing something is enough to tell you that, it's not going to get any better. Smoking doesn't do anything. It's not going to be revolutionized at some point and suddenly it's going to start, improving my life or anything like that. All it's doing is slowly killing me, and before it kills me, it's just going to rob me of more stamina and strength and endurance and money. And like, smoking is it's just the weirdest habit, and it is just a habit that's been marketed and manipulated into the zeitgeist to be something that you feel you have to do. Like, smoking weed's different. You smoke weed, you get high. You smoke cigarettes, and all it's doing, like, people say it calms them down, and it doesn't really. Like, you smoke your first cigarette and it fills you up with nicotine, and you get that little nicotine kind of buzz. But then the nicotine fades and your body starts crying out for more nicotine. So when you smoke a cigarette and you think, oh, I'm so stressed, I need a fag, and then you think, oh, that's me calm now. You're not calming anything to do with you, you're just calming the nicotine that was there before. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Anyway, yeah, I've smoked since I was 13, and I don't need to do that anymore. It's not like a skill, it's not like something that you can learn or get better at, or nothing's ever going to change. Smoking is smoking. You pay, what, a tenner almost for 20 cigarettes, and then a day later you've got a pile of ash. That's it. It just doesn't do anything. And the fact that I do train and I smoke it's fucking ridiculous. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Lee? It's madness. Do you know what I mean? But before, when it was just me, it's like, I don't care if I smoke, you know, I don't care what I eat and that kind of shit. But now that there's actually a brand that are willing to put their faith in me to be a representative of them, then I owe it to them and myself to be the best representation of health, fitness, whatever that I can be. Like I am a qualified sports coach. I am ex-military and I have trained parkour. Like I know what to do. It's just doing it, you know. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is sort out my diet, and but that's the thing. I'm going to be smart about it in my approach anyway, because like yeah, tomorrow, like this is Sunday, and like tomorrow on Monday, I could decide, you know what, I'm going to eat nothing but kale, and I'm going to drink nothing but wheatgrass, and I'm going to get super healthy and that kind of stuff. But I know I would hate that. I would hate that second meal I'd done it, and I would hate it that much that I would end up just not doing it, and I would go back to what I was doing. So, although I'm improving my diet personally, to a lot of people it might not look like an improvement whatsoever. But that's the thing, like my diet has always been so strange. I'm an incredibly not fussy eater, but particular eater. Like when I was growing up, I basically lived on cornflakes. I'm talking like breakfast, lunch, dinner, bowl of cornflakes, I'm good. And it used to drive my mum crazy. Like really, you know, she's cooking and trying to get me to eat this and that, and I'm just like, no, no, cornflakes. I'm good with cornflakes. And it got to the point where she took me to the doctor because she was getting worried about me. And the doctor examined me, looked me over, and he's like, well, he's perfectly healthy, and he's bigger than like most kids his age. So this is probably just a phase, and I wouldn't worry about it. You know, don't try and force it or anything like that. He'll just come out of it eventually. And I never really came out of it. Like my diet's expanded now. Like I didn't eat meat until I was 18. Anytime I tried meat before, it just gave me like a gag reflex, and it wasn't like I was worried about the poor little animals or anything like that. It was just a pure physical reaction to it. And then one day when I was 18, I was sitting in McDonald's with my ex, and I'd been in McDonald's hundreds of times and just had fries, and she had a Big Mac, and it just smelt delicious that day. I don't know why. I said, "Can I try a bite of that?" Tried a bite of it. Delicious, delicious. And like the first time I tried steak, I mean that's a McDonald's Big Mac that I classed as gourmet food at this time. Do you know what I mean? And then the first time I had a steak, I could not believe that I had spent 18, 19 years not eating steak. I love steak. So yeah, that was like a revelation. But my diet is just, it's so basic. And I've heard this is actually like a psychological survival tool that's ingrained into us. Like when we're kids, we seek out more basic food because there's like a survival instinct that tells us the more exotic foods we come across probably won't be as readily available. But the more basic foods, like staple kind of foods, they should be there. So that's in some kind of psychological programming. I don't know what the cause is or whatever, but I seek out the most basic foods that I enjoy, and like I prefer crunchy foods to any other kind of foods. Like this is what I'm talking about. My diet is so weird, and there's so many layers to why I eat what I eat and why I don't eat this and that kind of stuff. And trying to explain it to people, it's just one, it makes me look like a total pussy. Because there's been times when like you know. Like, say I get into a relationship and it's like, oh, do you want to come round and have dinner and meet the family and that kind of stuff? Like, already I'm under pressure just with meeting new people. But when it's in a food setting, oh, you've no idea the anxiety this gives me because, like, say I've met a girl, right? We'll paint this scenario. Say I've met a girl and we're seeing each other, whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, do you want to come over? Like, my mum's making dinner on Sunday, and you know," and I'm like, "Okay, but could you tell them that, like, what are we having? Like, say fucking okay, a roast beef dinner. Like, I like roast beef, I like Yorkshire puddings. That's basically it, and gravy. Like I don't eat veg. I've never liked veg. It's the same as eating meat. It gives me like a gag reflex. It's weird. But yeah, if I'm at dinner, like I'll say to whoever it is, like, look, can you tell, the chef, whoever's cooking this, that I'm not really, I don't like that and I won't eat that and this and that. No, oh yeah, 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 we'll be fine. And then like I'll go and I'll be sitting and the plates will start coming out and my plate will come out and there'll be like roast beef and gravy, Yorkshire puds. And I'll be like, yay, but then there'll be like carrots or fucking beetroot or some shit. And I'll be sitting and I'll look at the person across the table and I'll be like, and I just start freaking the fuck out. And it's like, I'm fine if you just leave me to my own devices, but it's when people start saying like, "Oh, you need to eat this. Oh, do you not eat that? Oh, you need to eat this," and blah blah blah. And it's like 9 times out of 10 throughout my entire life, when people have got to the point where they start telling me what I should and shouldn't be eating, 9 times out of 10 these are either like just generally unhealthy people or people that do no physical activity whatsoever or people that are overweight or and they're telling me what I need to put into my body and it's like, yo, I'm good. Like I feel good, I've got good energy, I recover well, I can go out and like run up buildings and do flips and all that kind of shit. Like I'm good. But yeah, it's just it like if you ever want to get on with me, never ever like give me food to try. Like seriously, if we're sitting and you're eating something and I think, I don't know what that is. I've never had that. That looks nice. I'll ask, right? But if we're sitting, probably won't ever happen, but if we're sitting together and you're like, I'm eating something different from you and you try it and you're like, oh, you need to try this. I'm like, no, no, I'm good. And then you're, oh no, you need to just this little bit here. Oh, come on, come. I will probably pick your plate up and frisbee it out the fucking window. You go chase that shit. I'm eating this. You eat that. We're good. And it's so hard to explain this to people, and people just, it's I'm good. Just leave me alone, and we're good. If you start telling me what I need to eat, or I need to try this, and we're gonna have problems. But anyway, that's just how hard it is for me to fucking get into the mind frame of eating healthy, because like getting into the mind frame of eating is hard enough for me. So then to put it in the parameters of being healthy and that kind of stuff, it's just really hard. So I'm gonna try and eat healthier, but for me, healthier is like say I was having chicken for dinner, like real healthy people, they'll have like boiled chicken and white rice and that's it. But that would kill me. I wouldn't like that. That would be bland and I wouldn't enjoy it. So for me, I'll be eating like waffles and bird's eye chicken, peri peri chicken, some southern fried chicken, which is still unhealthy, still processed and all that kind of stuff. But in relation to me, it's still going to be healthier than eating a packet of Doritos for dinner, family size bag of Doritos, and I'm just raw gone. Um, and like in terms of eating, I could go all out, like there's people out there that meal prep, they'll spend Sunday preparing every single meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and it's all in containers and it's all weighed out and this kind of shit. Like I could do that, but I don't even preheat the oven when I'm cooking stuff, you know what I mean? So that level of commitment and that level of dedication is just, it's not going to be me. And I know this, so I'm not going to try and force it. I'm going to try and do this within the parameters that I know I can work around. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So quitting smoking, that should have happened a very long time ago, but 20 years, that's enough. I can hang that up and hopefully I'm still young enough and still healthy enough that my lungs will recover. Um so yeah, quitting smoking, changing my diet, even just like I'm sure replacing energy drinks with water will have a dramatic effect on a lot of different stuff. And then training, just like I'll get into periods where I'll start like working out. Like I've never been in a gym. I don't think I'll ever go to a gym. It's just not my scene. Um, But yeah, I do like home workouts. Like I've got a pull-up bar and push-up grips, and that's it. That's all the equipment I've got, and it's all just body weight exercises. But I could start. I need to start running again. Like there's been a couple of times I've got into the habit and routine of running, and it's good. You get to a point where you actually really start enjoying it, and you start feeling a lot of benefits from it. But it's just maintaining it. Like that's the biggest problem. Um, but also hopefully I'm going to use psychedelics as a complementary therapy to all this kind of stuff. Like although I've been going pretty deep on psychedelics for the last 3 4 years, I've not been completely committed to following through on the work. Like if you take a good mushroom trip, when you come out of it, it's as if you've been reset, and it allows you to analyze what you're doing and decide if you want to keep doing it or not, you know. And I'm talking stuff like habits, like smoking, like, you know, drinking cola or energy drinks or any of this kind of stuff. It just changes your thinking. And although I've had this before, you know, I've had that mental reset and I've had the freedom to not be as attached to my habits and to maybe break away from them. I've not had the commitment to see it through, because you also, after a good mushroom trip, you feel just so incredible that you feel like I can continue eating whatever I want, you know. I just feel so good that it won't make a difference. But I can feel better if I do make a difference. So I've got a mushroom trip planned for this week, which will hopefully be the reset that I'm looking for. And also like DMT and that kind of stuff, I'll just use intermittently to make sure that I'm sticking on the path really. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. Like I've trained parkour for 17 years, and I'm okay. Like I'm an all right free runner, but I could be much better. And that's the thing in terms of parkour. I've never really had this urge to, you know, fully dedicate myself to it and see just what I'm capable of. Because what I realized, like, there's free runners, and free running is their life. They are out every day, training every day. Their friends are free runners. The content that they consume is free running based, you know, like they are dedicated. And I mean, you get that with everybody. You get actors that are the same. All their friends are actors, you know, they're constantly watching acting stuff, and, you know, that's their whole life. But me, I never like to fully, not fully commit to something, but fully immerse myself in something like that. I prefer to, you know, just dip in and out of things because it keeps things fresh for me. And like I like the fact I can work on, you know, a film or TV show for a couple of months and then it finishes, and then I need to go and do something else, you know? And in terms of parkour, like I've never fully committed to it, but I've still been able to achieve some pretty cool stuff. So I feel if I do commit to it, then it should take me further. And especially with this ambassadorship, like everybody else that I've seen so far that's doing the same kind of stuff, they're all producing the same kind of content. You know, it's just gym selfies or in front of mirrors flexing and that kind of stuff. But in the last couple of days, I've already put out some content that's like, you know, it's refreshing, it's dynamic, it's it's me, you know, and it gives me a niche. It helps me stand out from everybody else that's doing this stuff. So if that's my way to you know, make myself stand out, then I should be giving everything to that, because there's other guys that are in gyms, you know, and they're massive and they're huge and they're putting in the work. So I need to put in that same kind of work, but to the things that I'm doing, and we'll see where it goes. And there's also a couple of things coming up, like film and TV wise. That, I mean, COVID's messed up a lot of stuff, but I basically need to be in a position where I can get a phone call at any time, and they might say, "Okay, tomorrow we need you here, and you need to do this, this, and this. Can you do that?" And I need to be like, "Yep, 100%." And then the next day, with no prep, no like couple of weeks to get, you know, into it, I just need to be able to show up and do whatever it is I'm meant to do instantly. Like I need to walk the talk, you know? And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's um like I'm really interested to see where I'm going to be at the end of this year. Um because I just feel everything will help everything. Like the more I work out, the better I'll feel. The better I feel, the more confident I'll feel about applying to like acting gigs and that kind of stuff. Um, the more confident I'll just feel out and about in life, and promoting fab activewear like that might earn me a little bit of money. It might there might be opportunities through that, and I'm just ready to do everything that I can to get everything that I can, you know? Like I've spent so many years like just sitting watching YouTube, other people's content, sitting watching other people's movies, sitting watching other people's parkour videos, watching other people become like influence. Like I do not want to be a social media influencer whatsoever at all. I don't want anything to do with that lifestyle or to be that person, but I do need to promote on social media and I do need to play that game, and I need to like so everything's about social media these days. Like the amount of times lately I've looked at acting gigs and it's like specifically stated like we only want people applying if they've got over 10,000 followers on Instagram and that kind of stuff, which makes sense. If you're casting someone in your project, you want someone that can not just deliver a performance, but someone that can also distribute the work, And so it makes sense that you would want the people with the most influence, the most followers, and that kind of stuff. So I need to play that game, but I don't want to be about that life, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you've got me on social media, you can get me Instagram, Life of Lee, should be floating around here somewhere. Um, and Facebook as well. But if you see me like posting, topless pics or flexing or any of this kind of shit, it's not because I'm that kind of guy. It's just because I need to play that kind of game, you know. Um, but it will. I mean, like that's the other thing. I feel like I'm built for this, like in the way that I'm an actor, I'm a model, so it doesn't bother me being in front of a camera, whether delivering lines for an advert, or a promotion, or acting, or if I'm modeling, like even just taking a picture in like this hoodie, like you can take a quick picture in front of a mirror and put that out there, or you can spend a couple of minutes, get a nice background, how's your light looking, like what kind of angle are we going? If you spend 5 minutes thinking about what you're going to do instead of just doing it, then you'll produce much better content. And there's a kid crying next door. Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, having a podcast, like, it's a good way to promote stuff like this, And this has been a dream of mine. Like, 9 times out of 10, or sorry, 9 times out of 10. Most of the podcasts I watch have got sponsors and that kind of shit. And although I am a ambassador for Fab Activewear, in my mind, like, oh cool, that's me got a sponsor for the podcast now. I can sit here, I can say to you guys, hey, check out this company. If you use my code, you'll save money, and I get a little kickback as well. Like that. So I now have a podcast sponsor. They might not see it that way, but I do. Like that's a little checkpoint that I wanted to hit, and I've now hit that. And even in terms of social media, I can share something and tag Fab Activewear in it, and then they'll now share it as well. So it's just getting that reach out there, and like I don't know what all this is building to. I don't know what this podcast is building to. I don't know what my acting career is building to. I don't know what my free running training is building to. I don't know what this ambassadorship is building to. but I know it's building to something because there's too many bricks to not build something monumental out of it. You know what I mean? And it's just reining everything in now and trimming the fat and streamlining everything and just like I mean, since I moved back here, like that's me being back here for like a year and a half, and it's not been the easiest. Like I had some just mental stuff to not like mental stuff to deal with, but mental stuff to deal with. You know, just being back here when I thought I'd moved away and reintegrating myself into this culture and society that exists over here. So it hasn't been the easiest, but a great quote I heard years ago was an arrow must first be pulled back before it can fly forward. And that's what I feel's happening. I feel like if you take my life as the arrow, like for the last few years it's been getting pulled back and pulled back and pulled back. And right now we're at the bit where you just tremble a little bit just before you go woo, and that arrow goes, you know, and that's what I feel I'm in. I'm in the bit where I'm just getting the last bit of the draw on the string. You know, I'm just coming to full extension and and that arrow's gonna fucking fly. And that's I've said this before, that's why I'm doing this podcast. Like I've got a rough general direction that I'm heading in, but I don't ultimately know what the destination is, which is great for me. It's brilliant for me because one of the fucked up things in life is if you set yourself a goal, when you get that goal, you know, a lot of time it doesn't, like if you set yourself a goal and you know it's going to take a while, that goal could be, you know, all right, I want to save up and get a car, a very particular car, an Audi R8, say, and it takes you 5 years to save up this money, and you've scrimped and saved, and you've not been able to go on nights out, and you know you've had to like not bought clothes, and you know you've been putting every penny, every dime, you've been saving it up just to get this car, and then you get that car, the exact car you want, and you sit behind it, and you're like, oh, this doesn't have cup holders. Oh, you know, this chair isn't as comfy as I thought it was going to be. And, you know, like if you have a specific goal in mind and then you reach it, that specific goal might not live up to what you thought it was going to be, or it might not be what you wanted it to be. So, what I'm trying to say is rather than having very specific goals, if you just have a general, you know, area where you want to land, that like I don't really know what I'm saying here. I know what I'm feeling. It's just if you're not heading for something specific, but just a generalization, then you're not going to be as disappointed if you don't get exactly what you wanted because you don't know exactly what you want. And it also frees you to maybe take roads that you wouldn't have took before. But if you were just trying to get to this one specific thing, this one specific place, then that's a set path, you know. But if you're just trying to get in the general vicinity of that, then you could end up with something better. You could end up, you know, and that's something that I feel is really specific to me. Like, I don't know a lot of people that can just up and leave and go, you know, anywhere around the world for as long as needed. Like in a job sense, like I can't just decide, oh, I'm going to go to Jamaica tomorrow. I'm going to go to Jamaica tomorrow. But if someone phoned me up like, oh, Lee, want to cast you in a film and it's going to be shooting in the Borneo jungle for 6 months, can you fly out like in 2 weeks' time? I can do that. Like I don't have kids, I don't have a mortgage, I don't have any standing orders, I don't have any of those kind of restrictions that a lot of people have. So the potential for opportunities is overwhelming, and I just need to be in a position where I can take advantage of those opportunities, you know, be it like parkour and I need to be in good physical shape, or pardon me. Yeah, we're nearly coming to the half hour. I don't know if any of this has made sense. Hopefully it will soon. But the, you know, to sum it all up, I'm trying to make myself better. Like, that's the bottom line. And there's a lot of ways I can do that, and there's a lot of areas I can improve. So I shouldn't be bored over the next coming months. And hopefully by the end of this year, I'm going to end up in a place that I can't imagine right now, that I don't want to imagine right now. I'll just stay open and I'll stay receptive to everything around me, and we'll see where it goes. And hopefully I'll get to a point where I can support others and motivate others to go out and do the exact same thing. Like, I'm just trying to live my life the best way I can and not be influenced by, oh well, you need to follow this religion, you need to follow this, that's not the way your mum and dad done it, or oh well, your brother wouldn't do that, or you're like, I don't care, this is my life and I'm going to live it entirely on my terms. So yeah, we've just crossed the 30-minute mark. I don't know what this episode will be like, but yeah, that was episode 15 of the Life of Lee podcast. Please remember to check out fabactivewear.com for just incredible workout clothes at cheap prices that are environmentally friendly. Like, why go buy Nike or Adidas, or any of that kind of stuff? The big brands, like, they're part of the problem. It's small brands like this that are actually trying to make a difference that we should all be supporting. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you in the next one.